here with Concordia head golf coach Brett Muller to preview the 2020-21 seasons that are coming up already late in August, official start time anyway. But you know, every golf season there's some ups and there's some downs. As you look back at last year, what were some of your biggest highlights and things you feel like you can build upon coming into this fall?
Yeah, on the women's side, you know, we picked up a tournament win at the CSM Invite. Also had some very good individual performances throughout the year, and that group really improved and came together late in the year. You know, looking at our GPAC finish the last 2 years for the ladies to finish third. You know, late in the round 3, we had moved into second place. We were sitting in second place for a little bit, and you know, finished third, which was another good performance for us. On the men's side, not as consistent as we would have liked last year. You know, had a great performance from Drew winning the Donut Invite in the spring, so that was a great individual performance for him.
Well, every spring now you take either the men or the women somewhere nice. I know this past spring the women went down to Texas over spring break. What did they enjoy, or what did the team enjoy about that experience?
Yeah, so last year, just with COVID and travel restrictions, we weren't able to fly. Maybe not as big a trip as we normally went on. However, with driving, we were able to take more players. We were able to take the entire women's program, so that was a great team bonding experience for them. Went down and played against some of the top competition in the country in the NAI, so it was a good experience for them.
Well, you already mentioned too some of the success the women's team had last season, and back-to-back third place finishes in the conference. What does that say about how that program has progressed and where it's at right now?
You know, the biggest difference with the women's program, you know, moving up to third place is just the depth. We've had, you know, more capable players able to shoot, you know, in the 80s or low 90s, which really helps with the team score.
We've certainly talked a lot about Kendra Plock the last few years, and she just continues down a path to be one of the best in school history. What are some of the biggest factors that have led to her getting even better as she moves along in her college career?
Probably the biggest thing for Kendra is just her approach to the game. She's pretty laid back. Sometimes I wish she would have a little bit more of an edge. However, she doesn't get, you know, too upset in a round. And then just her ability to hit the long ball off the tee. You know, when she's hitting it well off the tee, she can really take advantage and make the golf courses a lot shorter.
We'll get to the men too in a second here, but certainly you lose a couple all-conference golfers on the women's side with Mia Martin and Andrea Peterson. What will that battle be like kind of for those next in line along with Kendra at the top of the lineup?
Yep. So, you know, Andrea was somebody that transferred in after her freshman year. She was in our top 5 the last 3 years. And then Mia was a transfer from Concordia, Portland. Had to sit out the fall season, but she was a huge addition and a huge factor on, you know, kind of keeping us in the top 3 in the GPAC. So, like you said, those two will definitely be missed. I believe, you know, our girls have improved, you know, just the consistency and the returners we have. I look for our top 5 to be pretty competitive again.
On the men's side, not a whole lot of graduations or departures, I guess, but what's the focus on right now for the men to try to move up in the GPAC?
Yeah, you know, with the men's team, we need to be more consistent at, you know, 3 through 5. You know, this is the biggest recruiting class I've brought in my 10 years at Concordia. We have 7 men's players coming in this year, and I think we will have a lot of depth. I think our practice qualifying will be more competitive, so we can hopefully create a more, you know, tournament atmosphere in practice, so we're able to compete better in the tournaments.
You mentioned Drew already put together a nice season from start to finish. Was honorable mention all conference. What could possibly be the next step for him in his career?
You know, Drew, he's not going to be outworked. He puts in the time in the summer. Even during the season, he's one of the first guys to show up, one of the last guys to leave. So it's not, it shouldn't be a surprise that he had the success that he has. Last year, and I know his goal is to win the conference individually. That's a pretty high expectation for himself, but he's gonna put in all the work he can and try to outwork everybody so he can achieve that goal.
And the large number of newcomers you mentioned for the men, what do you expect that to do at practice? I'm sure there'll be some good competition to be in that varsity lineup.
Yeah, just with having more guys capable of shooting, around par, I think that's definitely going to help push our returners as well. Obviously coming from high school to the college game, there is a little bit of change, a little bit of learning curve there, just with the yardage that we're playing and also playing some tougher golf courses.
Well, a big recent development for the program is getting some new equipment in the hitting center. How did that come about, and how is that going to benefit your student athletes?
Yep, so that's something we've kind of been fundraising for the last few years, through different opportunities, through online hometown web sponsoring with some of our other stuff we do here on campus. And then we did have one donor that was able to really put us over the top, and we're able to purchase the new GC quad for the hitting center. It'll be great to have right here on campus, and the teams will have access to it.
And it's sort of like a video game in some ways,
yeah.
Right? I mean, can you pick whatever courses you want, and how does that work?
Yep, so there's about 20 different courses that the teams can play. They can play in multiplayer mode as well. So I really think in the winter and the off season we'll have some competition in there as well, whether it be a match play or some stroke play tournament stuff as well. We're really looking forward to kind of figuring everything that has to offer for us.
Well, I think we've talked about this in previous interviews about how the GPAC keeps getting better, the scores get lower. What do you think has contributed to that dynamic over the past several years?
I think we have more coaches in the conference that are more committed. Maybe more coaches in a full-time role, and they're working hard to recruit, to bring in the best players for them. So I think that's a big factor, is the coaching.
As you look at this fall in particular, what are some of the main things you hope to get out of it with both teams?
Like I said, on the men's team, we just need to be more consistent, have more guys, shoot around 75 or better. I think we definitely have capable guys of doing that. It's going out and performing well in practice and then taking that confidence into the tournaments. On the women's side, I think we're maybe a little bit behind on paper from where we were last year, coming back, but I really think we have some talent to be right around where we were last year.